Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our sessions on SQL. So it's our day 5. We are yet to learn few more concepts. So let us quickly recap what we have covered so far. We started understanding SQL, the basics. Then we understood what are the commands, all the 5 different languages in SQL, DDL, DML, DQL, DCL and TCL. Next to understanding the languages, we understood data types and operators. Yes. In the last class, we have discussed what are clauses and constraints. What are clauses and constraints? So these clauses are essential components of SQL query, which help us to filter the data, sort the data, group the data, as well as it also helps them to limit the data. So what are the different clauses that we have in SQL? We have where clause for filtering, order by clause for sorting the data, group by clause for grouping the data, and we also have having clause for filtering the data, which is used especially for filtering the group data, right? And next to which we have limit clause and offset clause. Limit clause help us to restrict the number of records. When you want to go and restrict the number of records, we go and use limit clause. As a combination with limit clause, we also use offset. What does this offset does? Offset actually help us to skip the number of records, right? So these are the different clauses we have learned. And guys, if you have failed to attend the previous session, it is available in our channel. Go and quickly learn what are the different clauses and how clauses help us, when we work with databases, you'll understand. And next two clauses, we discuss constraints. What are constraints? Constraints are nothing but they are some rules. Rules on what? Rules on the columns, the fields. Okay, only because of these constraints, we are going to have the data stored in the column within the table. What are the different constraints that we learned? We understood what is primary key. So what is primary key, guys? Primary key is a combination of both unique and not null. A primary key means, the values in that specific column should be unique and none of the values should be null. It does not allow null values to be part of the primary key. How many primary keys can we have within a table? Only one. Only one primary key is what it is accepted. And what is composite primary key? What is composite primary key, guys? Composite primary key is nothing but primary key defined on two or more than two columns is called as composite primary key. A composite primary key, the combination of these columns, two or more than two columns, should be unique and none of the columns can have null values. That is what composite primary key tells. And next to composite primary key, we learned what is foreign key. Yes. So what is foreign key? Foreign key is a constraint on a column which helps us to establish relationship. It helps us to establish relationship between the tables. So if you have different tables and if you like to establish a relationship between table 1 and table 2, you have to go with, foreign key. Foreign key have to be defined on a column, and this foreign key column will be referencing primary key of the other table. Primary key column of other table. Then next to foreign key, did we miss out any points? Yes. We can have multiple foreign keys defined in a table. You can have n number of foreign keys defined within a table. Then we have understood what is unique. Unique key. Unique key represents all the values of that specific column should be unique. They should not be repeated. They have to be unique. Then next to unique key, what do we have? We have discussed not null. Yes, we discussed not null constraint. This not null constraint tells us that the column cannot have null values. And how many not null constraints can be defined in a table? Same, n number. You can define n number of unique keys, not null keys on the columns of a table. Right? Next to which we have discussed default key. What does this default key does? We come up with a default value for a column so that when you don't insert any value to that specific column, the default value will be inserted. Right? So you can also have default keys defined for n number of columns. Next to default, the last key, what we have discussed, it is check constraint. Check constraint is like a kind of constraint which help us to insert the values only upon meeting the condition. Only if the condition is met, it allows us to insert or update the values. So that is where check constraint comes into the picture. So all these topics we discussed in the last session. Guys, if you have failed to listen that session, my sincere advice is go and quickly learn what are clauses and constraints. The reason behind why am I telling multiple times is these are two important topics, very, very, very important topics in SQL. Okay. So for sure you can expect the questions or, even the syntaxes. When we are discussing these topics, it is always recommended to observe, memorize the syntaxes for each and every clause and constraint, how we are defining it. Making sense? Right. So let us not delay. Let us continue with the next topic. It is joins. The next topic that we have is joins. So in today's session, we are going to learn some multiple topics. Same important. Okay. So the first topic that we'll be learning is joins. Then we'll be understanding what are joins in SQL, followed by the types of joins in SQL. Okay. We'll be doing hands-on when it comes to joins. And next to joins, we'll be learning views. What are views? Okay. And how they are similar to tables, we'll be understanding, guys. And next to views, we'll be also discussing union and union all operators. There are two more operators that I have left out with to be discussed. They are union and union all operators. Okay, so these three topics will be covered as part of today's session. I hope the agenda is very clear. So let me start with the first topic. It is joins. Yes. So what do you mean by the word join? In general, tell me the meaning for join. Yes. What do you mean by join? Come on guys, I want everyone to respond. Don't sit idle. Okay. I want your answers in the chat box. What is join? Probably join is nothing but combining. What do you see? Join means combining? Yes or no? What are joins? Joins are nothing but you are going to combine. What you are combining? You are going to combine the tables, guys. You are going to combine the tables. Right? Yes. So let me start from here. Yep. Good. Joins is nothing but combining. But what you are combining? I'm going to combine two or more than two tables. I'm going to combine two or more than two tables using the concept of joins, because within a database, what you'll have? I'll have multiple tables. Yes. So table 1, table 2, table 3, so on. You'll have n number of tables. When you want to go and combine two different tables, we can just perform join so that these two tables get combined, concatenated. What is the benefit that we get when we join? Is they actually help us to retrieve or fetch meaningful data from the output. From the combined table, from the combined result, we are going to get the meaningful data. Okay, so that is what the concept of joins means. And there are there are multiple types of joins. So we'll be understanding each and every type, guys. Focus. So first of all, I would like to create a database. So I have launched MySQL Workbench. I have already done that. And I'm going to create a database. What is the name of my database? It is joins. The name of my database is joins. Before that, I have to remove the database which is already existing. Okay. Now I go and create the database joins. Is it done? Yes. It got created. Where it got created? You see under the schemas, the database joins got created. Now, next to it, let me use this database. Let me use this database. Right. So what is the syntax for using a database? It is use database name. So I just kept it as use joins. Yes, I'm going to use joins. Then next to which I'll be creating some tables. Okay. Now I need your attention, guys, because from here onwards the actual story starts. How you are able to join is what you have to understand from here. Let me create two different tables. What are these tables? The names of these tables are students and courses. The names of these tables are students is one table and the other table is courses. So let me create table 1. So what is the syntax for creating table? Create table name, and within the parenthesis we have to come up with at least one column, right? So I'll be keeping the first column student ID followed by the data type, followed by the data type, right? So I have defined all the columns along with the data types, and I have also defined primary key, a constraint for student ID column. Is that accepted? Yes. Obviously, student ID will be unique and it cannot be null, right? So this is accepted. And we have created students table. Done. The students table got created. Then next to it, let me create the other table courses. Let me create the other table courses. Within courses, how many columns do you observe? Two columns? Yes. What are they? Course ID and course name. Course ID and course name. I have defined primary key for which column? Course ID. So that means course ID column values should be unique and they cannot be null. So I have also created courses. Done. I have created students and courses. Two different tables got created. Now, let me start inserting the records. I'll insert some few records into these tables. Okay. So that we can perform joins. Different types of joins can be performed. Observe. First, let me insert some records into the students table using the insert command. Okay. So how many records I am going to insert? 5. Done. Inserting done. Let me quickly fetch the data of students. So you see here, these are the records that are available in students table, and in the same way, let me also insert few records into courses. How many courses we have? 5 different courses and 5 different course IDs, right? So I have also inserted records into courses table. Done. If you observe both these tables, in students table, for the 5th student, the course ID is null. Apart from it, rest of all the cells, they have some value, right? Yes. Done. We created two tables and we named them as students and the other one is courses. And then we have inserted the records. Now, so would you like to fetch the data using select commands? Yes, I would like to fetch the data. So let me use select command, DQL command select. Select star from students will fetch me the data from students table. So all of these are records of students table. In the same way, select star from courses will return me, it will fetch the details or the records from courses table. Right? Yes. Now, next to it, let us start understanding the types of join. Okay, the first type of join is inner join. The first type of join is inner join. What is this inner join? So I'll explain you the join types using Venn diagrams, guys. How many of you are aware of Venn diagrams? First of all, what are these Venn diagrams? So in our school math, we have a topic called sets and relations. I hope all of you are aware of it at least. Right? There is a topic called sets and relations in which we have learned Venn diagrams. So I'm going to use these Venn diagrams to explain the concept of joins, guys. Okay. So let me take two circles where the first circle represents table 1 and the second circle represents table 2. So we have two tables. What are they? Students and courses. Students and courses. Pay attention. What does inner join does? Inner join help us to retrieve, fetch. Inner join help us to fetch what? The common records between the two tables. What are the common records that you see between the two tables? Is this the shaded part, the common rate? The common part between table 1 and table 2 is nothing but the shaded region? Yes. It is going to fetch the rows which are common between the two tables. Okay. So what is the syntax for inner join? Inner join syntax is select table 1 dot column 1, table 1 dot column 2, table 2 dot column 1. What are these? These are nothing but columns. Within the select statement, we represent columns. Whatever you want to fetch, you'll be giving the column names. Yes. But here you have to mention the table name as a prefix. Why? Because you are going to get the output of two different tables from two different tables. Yes. So as a prefix, we'll be using the table name table 1 dot column 1, table 1 dot column 2, table 2 dot column 1, table 2 dot column n, so on. From table 1, inner join table 2. That means this is table 1 and this is table 2. Okay. What kind of join you are performing between those? Inner join. This is inner join. Okay. On a matching column. This is very important, guys. First and the foremost condition to perform join is there should be a matching column between the tables. Between the two tables or more tables that you are going to perform the join, there should be a matching column. What if you don't have a matching column? It is not possible to perform join. It is not possible to perform join. So when you want to join two or more than two tables, ensure that there is a matching column between all the tables. So that is what you specify here. Table 1 dot matching column. Table 2 dot matching column. What does that mean? It means using this matching column from both the tables, I am performing inner join is what it represents. Right? And inner join is also written as just join. Okay, don't assume in some books or in some cases, you'll just observe the word called join. Instead of inner join, you'll observe the word called join. What does it mean? It means inner join, guys. Either you keep it as inner join or join, both are same. Both are same, right? So that is how inner join is going to retrieve us the common, the matching part between the two tables. So shall we give a try? Let us apply inner join on the students and the courses table and see what will be the result. Okay, right. So let me copy the command. I'll copy the query. So especially in case of joins, you have to be very clear with the syntaxes, case. So what is the syntax for inner join? Select table1 dot column1, table1 dot column2, so on. Yavish, the required columns from table 1 inner join table 2 on table 1 dot matching column is equals to table 2 dot matching column. Clear? So what is table 1? Students. What is table 2? Courses. So between these two tables, I am going to perform inner join. How you are going to perform inner join? Using the column called course ID. Go and check, is there any column called course ID between both the tables? Yes. Course ID is present in both the tables. So this course ID will be used as the matching column. Yeah, you can go with, see, at least one matching column is what the condition is. You can use the matching column for joins. If you have more than one, yes, obviously you can go with any one of these. You select any one for performing the join. Your wish. The condition is it should be mandatory that you have to have at least one. At least one. Right? So can you guess what will be the output for the inner join, guys? If you observe here, what are the matching part between students table and course table? So if you observe in the course ID column, there are 5 different course IDs, 101 to 105. But in students, 101 to 104 only. Right? So all of these are matching between the two tables. Yes. So for all these values from 101 to 104, you will get the, all the columns get occupied with some values. Wherever there is no value, like 105, 105 will not be written as output. Why? Because 105 is not matching here. It is not present in both the tables. So you'll get only till 104. Let me execute and explain the output. See, why did we get till only 104? Because we don't have 105 present in students table. This is not present in students table, because of which you don't observe 105 record. And what columns did we specify here? We have specified some columns. Only those columns got retrieved. Why not all columns were retrieved? Because I specified only 4 columns. And I have also specified which column should come from which table. The student ID should come from students table. Are these the student IDs? Yes. And the name of the student should come from students table. Yes, I got the name of the students from students table. Course ID also I want from students table. Yes. And from courses table, I just want only the course name. So for the respective course IDs, are these the course names? Yes. So this is the output of inner join. This is the output of inner join. Only the matching part will be written as output. Why not 105? We also have 105 course, right? This 105 course is not available in students. That is why you did not see it in output. Clear? Yes. Now, let us go with the next type. What is the next type of join? Next to inner join, we have left join. We have left join. What does this left join means? Left join is nothing but it will return us all the records from the left table and only the matching from the right table. What is left table? What is right table here? So this is table 1 and this is table 2. This is students, this is courses. This is called left table. If you observe towards your left side, you have table 1 and this is called right table. A left join will return us all the records from the left table, including matching. Including the matching part, it is going to return all the records from the left table. Right? So what is the syntax for left join? Here is the syntax. It is same as inner join. If you observe, it is same as inner join. Then what makes the difference? Just change the type of join. Instead of inner, replace it with left. Replace it with left. Job done. Right. So let me apply left join on students and courses table. Okay. So I'll be using it, using this query. Let us go and apply it on the students and courses table. So what is the difference that you observe? Same query, guys. Only the type of join I changed. If I change the type of join, will the output change? Obviously, the output will change for sure. Right? So what are we trying to do here? Here, we are going to perform left join by taking students as the left table and courses as the right table. So what is the matching column? Course ID only. Using course ID, we are going to perform left join. And how many columns I would like to retrieve? Only 4. The same 4 columns. Okay. So can you guess what will be the output for this query? I'll show you students table and I'll also display the courses table. Can you guess how many records will be returned as output? How many records will be returned as output? Any guess? Come on. What is the left table that we have? Students. How many records do you observe in students? 5. So what does left join say? All rows from the left table. So how many rows? 5. Right? So when you execute left join, this will return us 5 rows as output, in which all these rows will be from the left table, and wherever you have match in the right table, you'll observe the values, and if there is no match, you'll observe the null values coming in. You'll observe null values coming in. Okay, so let me execute this left join. See, how many records? 5. Why 5? Because when you say left join, it will return all the records from the left table. So what is the maximum number of records that it can fetch? 5. Why 5? Because there are only 5 records in left table. So this all the 5 records will be written from the left table. And if there is any match in the right table, so there it will return the output, and if there is no match, it will return as null values. See, in this example, for course IDs 101 to 104, there are course names, right? But do you have 105 available in students table? No. No. So you observe a null value. There is a null value instead of a course ID for Eve, right? So that is the reason the course name is also null. Wherever there is no match, you'll observe null values coming in. That is the purpose of left join, guys. Clear? Next to left join, we have right join. What is the next type of join we have? Right join. So what does this right join does? Right join works quite opposite to left join. What does it mean? It means, you know, left join will retrieve all the rows from the left table, including the matching. In the same way, right join will retrieve all the rows from the right table, left table, right table. So it will return all the records from the right table, including matching. That is what right join does. Quite opposite to left join. Right? So what is the syntax? Again the same syntax, just to change the type of join. Instead of inner, earlier we went with left. Now replace left with right. This will perform right join, guys. This will perform right join. Okay? Yes. So let us perform right join using this query. I'll be copying the query. What does the query say? Select the required columns, column 1, column 2, column 3, so on. Use table name as prefix. From table 1, right join table 2 on table 1 dot matching column is equals to table 2 dot matching column. So that means in both the tables we have a matching column. Using this matching column, we are going to perform right join. Perfect. Let's go and execute this query. Right. Now tell me what will be the output for right join. How many records can you expect as output for right join? First of all, out of these two tables, which table is right table and which table is left table, guys? Students will become left table. Courses will be right table. Good. So how many records will be returned as output? I'll show you the data of students as well as courses. So the maximum number of records that will be returned will be what will be the maximum number of records that will be fetched? It will be 5 again. Why 5? Because in the right table also there are maximum records that are 5. So if there is any matching for these records, you will observe the values for the records, and if there is no match, you will observe null values coming in. Right? So let me go and execute right join. How many records? It is 5. Why 5? Because all the rows from the courses were being written. See, all the rows from the course table were being written. If there is only match, see, 105, that is machine learning course, was not opted by any student. That is why you see null values coming for record 5. Whereas for rest of the 4 records, some students have opted. So you see the details of the students. So where there is a match, you'll observe the values coming in when you perform join. If there is no match, you'll see or you'll observe null values. Clear, guys? Yes. So what are the joins that we have learned so far? Inner join, left join, and right join. The next type of join that we are going to learn is full outer join. What is the next type of join that we are going to learn? It is full outer join. What is full outer join? Full outer join is nothing but full join. Okay, let us understand how does full outer join or full join work. A full join will return us all records from both the tables. So if you see, this is table 1 and table 2. This will return all the records from table 1 and table 2. This is called full join. This Venn diagram represents the output of full outer join or full join. It just combines both left and right table. Okay. And all the records will be written as is. If there is any match, it will be fill the value. If there is no match, it will return as null values. Clear? And MySQL does not support full join. MySQL does not support full join or full outer join. Then how can we achieve full join in MySQL? Is we can achieve it using union operator. What is this union operator? We'll discuss. In the next coming few minutes, we'll be understanding union operator, guys. So using union operator, we can achieve the output of full join or full outer join. Right. So in general, if you're not just considering MySQL, if you are working with any other RDBMS system, what is the syntax for full join or full outer join? Here is the syntax. The same syntax, change the type of join. Instead of right or left or inner, keep it as full. This will perform full join. This will perform full join. Fine. But in case of MySQL, when you try to perform the same operation, when you try to use the same syntax, it will raise an exception. This is not accepted. How can you perform or how can you get the output of full join in MySQL is we use union operator, guys. We use union operator. What is this union operator? We'll discuss. Not required for time being, we'll discuss. I'll tell you. Clear? Yes. Next to full join, we have cross join. What is the next type of join that we have? It is cross join. What does this cross join does? Cross join help us to return the Cartesian product of two tables. What does this Cartesian product means? It means each row from the first table, each row from the left table will be combined with every row from the second table. That is called Cartesian product. What does it mean? It means in table 1, if you have 5 rows and In table 2, if you have 6 rows or 6 records, each row from table 1 will be combined with each row of table 2. So what will be the output of cross join? In this case, it will be simply, 30 records. How 30? You take each row from table 1 and just combine it with each row of table 2. So in short, just multiply both the number of records. That will be the total number of records in the output of cross join, guys. This is the trick. Very simple. So even though if you don't have any matching column, you can still go and perform cross join. But for the rest of the joins, it is not possible. Clear? For rest of the joins, you cannot go and perform join until unless if you have a matching column. But for cross join, you can go and perform join even though if you don't have any matching column. Why? This is just combining, right? Either if you have matching column or if you don't have matching column, irrespective of the matching column, you can just go and combine the records from the tables. So now tell me, in our case, in students table, we have 5 rows. Yes. And in courses table, how many rows we have? The same, 5 rows. Yes. So tell me, what will be the output in case of cross join when we try to apply between student and courses table? What will be the number of records in the output of cross join when it is applied between students and courses tables? Come on, guys. Simple. Just multiply. What is 5 multiplied by 5? 25 records. So especially when you are using cross join, the result can be a very large output, a very large table. So it is always recommended to go with cross join, to use cross join with a caution. Why? It may affect your system. Okay, especially when you are using large data sets. If you have say 10,000 rows in one table and say 1 lakh rows in other table, when you try to perform cross join on these two tables, your systems might hang. Why? It is computationally expensive for large tables. Clear, guys? So what is the syntax for cross join? It is select the column names, whatever the column names that you would like to have, okay, followed by from table 1 cross join table 2. That's it. Simple. You need not have any matching columns. Just keep it as from table 1 cross join table 2. This will perform the Cartesian product. Okay. So let us apply it on our tables. So I'll copy the query. Done. Now let me execute this query, guys. The cross join Cartesian product. Done. Each row of the students table will be combined with courses table. And in the output, what kind of columns you would like to have, you are supposed to mention them. Okay. Let us observe the output first. See, what is the first course name? It is Python. So Python got combined with all the 5 rows of students. Then followed by, what is the next one? SQL. SQL. Next to which you will observe Power BI, AI, machine learning. So all the rows of students, they got combined with all the records of courses. Simple. Okay. Right. So this marks the end of joins. Right. Let us go to the next topic. It is views. What is the next topic that we have? Views. I'll quickly recap what we have covered so far. We understood what is joins. Joins are nothing but combining two or more than two tables, especially the rows of two or more tables. And you observe, you have learned different types of joins as part of this topic. They are inner join, left join, right join, full join, and cross join. In order to perform join, what is the condition? There should be a matching column. What if you don't have a matching column? The only type of join that we can perform is cross join. Apart from cross join, you cannot go with any other, you cannot perform any other join. Right? Yes. So when it comes to the topic of joins, the syntaxes are important, guys. At least memorize one syntax so that you can answer any kind of question. By changing the type of join in the syntax, you can answer the questions. Right. So what are these views? The next topic that we have is views. Let us understand what are these views. Small topic. Views are nothing but they are tables. They are also tables. Are they tables? Yes. Views are tables, but they are actually virtual tables. Okay. So the tables that we have within the database, they are not virtual. They occupy space, they consume space, okay, within the database. But these views are virtual tables. Okay. They are stored in the database, but they does not contain the data itself. What does it mean? In general, within a table, what you should have, the purpose of the table is to store the data. Because in a table, you will have rows and columns. Within these rows and columns, obviously, you are storing the data, right? But if you observe a view, views are present inside the database, but they does not contain the data. Then what does it contain? It contains the query, the SQL query that is generating the data. Okay, this SQL query gets stored inside the view. And what is the purpose of views is, it helps us to provide data security, and it also helps us for simplifying our complex queries. So when it comes to the concept of views, views are in short virtual tables. They are also tables, but they are virtual. Okay, they does not contain the data like the original tables. They do contain what? The SQL query that is generating the data. Right? So let us understand the syntax for creating a view. So here is the syntax, guys. Using create command, I'm going to create a view. See, create view name as the select query. This is the syntax for view. Create view, view name. That means a view will be created. How? Using this select query. Okay. So this select query will fetch the data, retrieve the data. Yes. So this select query is getting stored inside the view. Right? Yes. So let us do some hands-on with respect to the views topic. Right. So what are we trying to do here? Can you tell me what are we doing here? I'm going to create a table called employees. Okay. So within the table, I would like to have some columns like employee ID, first name, last name, department ID, salary, and hire date. Okay. For all these columns, I have defined the data types. Along with the data types, I have also defined some constraints. Right. So primary key was defined for employee ID column, and not null constraint was defined for all the rest of the columns. Done. Right. So let me create this table. Done. The table got created. Let me refresh. You'll observe employees. Employees got created. Now, let me insert the records into this employees table using insert command of DML, data manipulation language. Am I passing the values for all the columns? If you observe properly, am I passing the values for all the columns? Yes or no? See, for employee ID column, I'm not passing any value. If you observe, I'm directly passing the values for first name, last name, department ID, salary, and hire date. But why am I not passing any value for employee ID? The reason behind it is I used auto increment, one of the constraint which help us to, insert the value starting from 1, and by default it increments by 1. Okay. So even though if you don't pass for any value for employee ID column, the values will be auto incremented starting from 1. Okay. So for rest of the columns, let me insert the values. Done. Okay. So let me fetch the records. Let me fetch the records. Before creating view, I'll go and fetch the records first of all. See, how many records do you observe? 7. 7 employee details we have within the table. Clear. Now, by using this data, what I would like to create? I would like to create a simple view. I would like to create a simple view using this table. Okay. So what I'm doing, let us try to understand this query, guys. I'm going to create a view. How can you select that? I'm going to create a view. The syntax for creating view is create view, view name. Create view, view name. So the view name is employee summary. Okay. As from where should I get the data? Here is my select command. Select. I'm using concat function which help us to concat the columns. Combine the columns. What are the columns that I'm going to combine? The values from first name followed by space, then last name. So all of these will be combined and the values will be stored under full name column. The values will be stored under full name column. Next to which we have salary column, hire date from employees. So this is a select statement, guys. A normal select statement, select query, in which I'm going to fetch three different columns. Full name, salary, hire date. From which table? Employees table. Okay. How am I getting this full name column values? By combining three values. Again, first name, last name, and between these two values, I would like to have some space. Okay. So this is actually the details from this select query will be stored in where? In a view. Inside the view, all these three columns will be stored. Let me create this view. Done. Yes. So I'll refresh this database. You see, immediately the view got created. Under the joins database, next to tables, you see views. Yes. What are these views? These views are nothing but the virtual tables. Right. So let me open the views. What is the name of the view? Employee summary. The name of the view is employee summary. Let me get the details present in this view. You can see three columns. What are these three columns? Full name, salary, hire date. Why only these three columns? Because I just mentioned only three columns to be part of this view. Clear, guys? So once after creating the view, it is similar to the table. You can just go and use it as a table. See, select star from view name. Instead of table name, I'm just, in order to make the difference, I'm just representing that as view. Select star from view name will return us the data present in employee summary view. See. Okay, so let me open it. All the three columns. So inside this employee summary, instead of data, instead of this table, what gets stored? This select statement gets stored. That is where when you try to execute this view, immediately the select command gets executed and it will display the result. Right, guys? Then next to it, what I'm going to do? I'm going to create two more tables. Okay, one more table. It is departments. Okay, so let me create the table called departments. And within this departments table, how many columns do we have? We have two different columns. One is department ID and the department name. Yes. So let us create the table departments and I'm defining primary key for department ID. Okay. And not null constraint for department name. It means you cannot pass null values for department names. Right. Let me execute. Done. I'll refresh. Let me open tables. Yes, departments table got created. Departments table got created. Now, I'll start inserting the records into the departments table. What is the syntax? Insert into table name followed by the columns and the values. Right? So, I'm going to insert 4 rows, 4 records into this departments table in which I'll be passing the values to department ID and the department name. Done? Yes. It is done. Let us quickly fetch the records. When you click on this icon, the table icon, it will help us to retrieve the data. It helps us to fetch the records. The department IDs followed by the department names. Clear? Yes. Now, what are we going to do with this departments table? Now, using this department table, I would like to go with a view. I'll create a view, but here is something new, guys. Focus. What am I doing here? I'm creating a view because the syntax for view creation is create view view name. Done. Create view view name. What is a view name? Employee underscore department. As followed by a select statement. But if you observe this select statement, is it a join? Is it a type of join that we are performing using the select statement? Observe carefully the syntax. Yes. What kind of join it is? What kind of join is that, guys? What is the syntax for join? Select column names from table 1, join type, table 2 on table 1 dot matching column is equals to table 2 dot matching column. So if we observe here, I just mentioned it as join, which means inner join. We are performing inner join on employees and departments table. Using employees and departments table, I'm going to perform inner join. So when you perform inner join on this employees table and departments table, so only the matching records. What are the department IDs that you have? 1, 2, 3, 4 in departments table. In the same way in employees table, yes, the same 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means you should get all the 7 records as output. Right? All of them have the matching. So wherever there are the matching rows, yes. And we are trying to fetch what columns? First name, last name and department name. That's it. First name, last name of the employee and the department name. So when I create this view, it actually performs the join in the backend and this select statement gets stored. Done? Yes, it created the view. Let me refresh. Employee department. The view got created. The view got created. Right? Now, let me fetch the records. Let me fetch the rows from this employee department view. See? Did you get all the 7 employees details? Yes. All the 7 employee details like first name, last name and the department name you have got as output. Clear? So that is how we use views. Okay. Views are nothing but virtual tables, guys. Like how we have created views, in the same way we can drop the views using drop command. Drop command is part of which language? DDL, data definition language. Right? So when you say drop view view name, this view gets dropped from the database. Observe carefully. I'm going to drop employee department view. Done? Yes. Done. Employee department view got dropped. right? Can I create a view only for the employees who work in engineering department? Yes. How can I do it? You see here, I'm going to create a view. What is the syntax? Create view, view name. Engineering employees is the name of my view name as select query. So what is the select query that we have kept? It is again the join. Yes, what kind of join? Inner join. It is nothing but inner join, guys. You are performing the same inner join, but additionally you are coming up with a condition. What condition? I am using where clause so that within this department name column, if the values are engineering, only those values will be filtered. So that is the purpose of where clause. I'm using where clause, right? Why? For filtering the records. Why are filtering the records? Because I just want to have the employees who work in engineering department only. That is why I'm going to mention this where clause by mentioning a condition. So this particular condition will filter only the employees who work in engineering department, and those employees will be part of this particular view, engineering employees view. So let us fetch the results. I'm going to fetch the results from engineering employees view. Select star from engineering employees view will return me the employees who work in engineering department. Only 2 people work for engineering department. If you would like to go and cross check, you can do it. How? This is employees table. You see the employee department ID. Yes. This is departments table. What is the department ID for engineering? It's 1. Let me go back to employees. How many ones do you observe? Only 2. John and the other one is Emily. Right? Yes. So these are the 2 persons who work in engineering department. Is this clear? Then next to dropping the view and creating the engineering employees view, let us understand whether these views are updatable or not. Yes, views are updatable when they follow some conditions. What are these conditions that we have? The select statement which we use to create the view, it should not include any group by or order by clause. So, while creating this view, if we use the clauses like group by, order by, you cannot update the view. This is the first condition. The second one is the select statement it should not have the distinct keyword. Is there any distinct keyword? No. Then the view should not have all not null values. It should have all of the values as not null. That means null values are not accepted. If the null values are present in the view, it cannot be updated. And it cannot be updated. It can be updated when it is not created using subqueries or complex queries. This is not a subquery. Query inside a query? No. It is not a complex query as well. And view can be created, it can be updated when it is created only from single table keys. Okay. If the view is created from multiple tables, then we cannot update the view like this. See, here the view got created from how many tables? 2 tables. What are they? employees and departments. So you cannot update this engineering employees view. It's not possible to update engineering employees view. But when you try to follow all these conditions and if you create any view, that view can be updated. That view can be updated. Here is an example. You can go and give a try. Okay. So let me create this view first of all. I'll create this view. What am I doing? I'm creating a view. What is the name of my view? Employee salary. And what does the view has? Select employee ID, first name, last name, salary from employees. So using one single table employees, I would like to create this table called employee salary. Let me create it. Done. Yes. I'll quickly, refresh and I'm able to see the view. The view got created, guys. Now let us try to update this view. Can we update this view? Yes, we can. We can. See, you let me first of all show you the data employee salary view. So this is our data present inside this employee salary view. Now what I'll do is I'll update the value that is present in this view. Same, the syntaxes will be same. Whatever the syntaxes that we have used for table, in the same way, just replace the table with view. See, update view name. What is the view name? Employee salary. Set salary is equals to 55,000, where employee ID is 2. What is the salary of the employee ID 2? It is 75,000. Now I'll go and update the salary of employee ID 2 to 55,000. I'm done. Yes. So I'll open the data again. See? So that means a view can also be updated. But when you follow all these conditions, like when you are creating a view, it cannot have the distinct keyword. Then it cannot have order by and group by clauses. And the view should be created using only one single table. When you are trying to create the view with multiple tables, it cannot be updated. Right? So when you follow all these rules, a view can be updated. All of the values should be not null. Right? So we also have non-updatable views. What are these non-updatable views? Views which cannot be updated. Like when you create a view using joins, aggregations, or complex functions. They cannot be updated, guys. Clear? Yes. So here if you observe, what am I trying to do? I am going to create a view again, but this time the view is being created using joins. The view is going to get created using joins. Again, I also have group by clause. I have group by clause. So the view gets created. There is nothing wrong in creating this view. The view gets created. But when you try to, update the view, it will raise an exception. It will raise an exception. In the same way, when you try to insert the values, does not accept. Right? So that is the problem, guys. For non-updatable views. They are non-updatable views. Create. Yes. So this is all about views. Views are, in short, the virtual tables which does not contain the data like, the physical tables. Instead of containing the data, what does they contain? They store the actual query which generates the data. This is very important, right? So we understood joins and we also understood views. We have one more small topic that was left out. It is union and union all operators. What does this union and union all operators means? They are part of set operators. So let us understand these two operators now. The first one is union operator. What does this union operator does? Union operator helps us to combine. It helps us to combine the result of two or more than two select queries. You have select statements. Yes. So these select statements of two or more than two can be combined using union. You have two different select statements and that can be combined using union operator. What does it mean? It means we can combine two tables using union operator. Earlier, we have performed join, right? What does join means? Join means combining tables, right? So you are combining horizontally. So the output will be in this fashion. But when you perform union, union is also similar to combining, guys. You are combining the tables, but not horizontally. Vertically, you will be combining. Vertically, you are going to combine the tables. When you perform union, it removes the duplicate records. The duplicate records gets removed and it ensures that all the columns to be in the same number of columns. Okay, both these tables, table 1 and table 2 should have same number of columns. Why? Because you are combining vertically. If you have 5 columns here, in table 2 also you should have the same 5 columns. What if you have 10? It does not accept for performing the union operation. So what are the key features that you get from the union operator is it combines the results of multiple select statements into single output. It removes duplicate records. While combining, it is also going to remove the duplicate records. And the number and the order of columns should match in both the queries. That means if you have 5 columns here, the same number of columns should be in the second query as well, second table as well, and the order also should be same, guys. The order of the columns should be same in both the tables. And the data types of these columns should be compatible. Okay, if you change the data types, it does not allow us to combine the tables vertically. So these are some key points when it comes to union operation. Okay, so what is the syntax for union? Simple. Take two select statements. This is one select statement. This is other select statement. Use union keyword between them. So that will be the syntax for union operator. This will combine, the results of two or more than two select queries into one single output. See, how many columns I am just mentioning here? The same number of columns should be mentioned. When you change, the output will not be returned. So let us take an example for better understanding. What am I doing here? I am creating a table, not one table. I am creating multiple tables, guys. 2 tables. So let us create two tables. What are the tables that we are creating? Customers 2023 and customers 2024. Okay, probably the customers in year 2023 and year 2024. And if you observe, in both these tables, the number of columns and the order of the columns are same or different. Yes, they are same. They are same. And when it comes to the data types, are they compatible? Yes, they are also compatible. Now, what I'll do is, I'll insert some records into the table, guys. Into both these tables, let me insert the records. Let me do it. If you observe properly, do we have any duplicates between the tables? Observe carefully. Between customers 2023 and customers 2024, do you observe any duplicate records? Any of the customer getting repeated in both the tables? Yes. Who is the customer? It's Charlie and David. Both these customers are present. The details of the customers are present in both the tables. They are present in both the tables. Right? So, let me first of all insert the records into the tables. Done? Yes. Now I'll go and perform the union operation. I'll go and perform the union operation. See how simple it is. What does this will return? Select star from customers 2023 will return me all the records from customers 2023 table. Yes. Select star from customers 2024 will return all the records from 2024 table. Yes. But when you use union operator between these two select queries, what does it does? The union operator will combine the records of both these tables by removing the duplicates. So can you tell me how many records will be returned as output? It is going to return how many records? Come on guys. How many records will be returned as output? Here we have 4 and here also we have 4. So will it return 8? No. It will not return as 8. It will return 6. Why only 6? The reason behind 6 is two customer details are present in both the tables. Right? So that is the reason these two customer details, Charlie's and David's, will not be, part of both the tables. Right? So that is about union. Union removes the duplicates, guys. And next to which you see union all operator coming in. What does this union all operator does? Union all operator does similar to union. It is same as union, where it combines the result of two or more select queries. But what makes the difference is it does not remove duplicates. It does not remove duplicates. Whereas union removes duplicates. That is the only difference between union and union all. Okay, so what is the syntax? Instead of union, just keep it as union all, guys. That becomes the syntax for union all operator. Okay, so here if you observe, let us perform union all between these two tables, customers 2023 and customers 2024. And now I'll be executing this union all operation between the tables. So when I execute this query, how many records will be returned as output? There are 4 records in 2023 and 4 records in 2024. So when we use union all, as union all does not remove duplicates, all the 8 records will be returned as output. See, just it combines and gives the output. Whereas union, it not only combines, it removes the duplicates. So when you compare union and union all, union is slower compared to union all. Union all operator is faster compared to union. Why? Because union all does not remove duplicates, guys. It does not remove the duplicates. It just combines the tables and gives the output. Whereas union, post combining, it has to remove the duplicates as well. Only then it returns the output. I hope it is clear. So that is where we use this union operator for full join in MySQL. In case of MySQL, we use this union operator to get the output for full join or full outer join. Clear? Yes. So we have learned joins followed by views and then union as well as union all operators. Right? There are few more topics. Okay. Next to that you see intersect operator. What does the intersection part means? In general, intersection means the common part between the tables. But MySQL does not support this intersect operator, guys. Okay. So if we are trying to use this intersect operator in any other RDBMS systems, it is accepted, but in MySQL it does not support. Yes. We have few more topics like window functions and Python database connectivity. So that 2 topics will be covered in the next session. So the next session will be the last session of this particular program. If you have missed out any of the sessions so far, go and quickly understand the topics. All the topics are explained clearly and you have them in our YouTube channel. Do it as soon as possible, guys. Right. So let me talk about the internship that Nextera Unitech has launched. We are offering an internship, guys. It's a free internship. Now let me, explain you how this internship works. I'll initially talk about what is Nextera Unitech. Okay. So I'll be, keeping very clear about our mission and the values. Okay, followed by let us understand what is internship, because majority of the people, they are not aware of what exactly is internship. And post understanding what is internship, I'll be talking about the phases of internship that we offer. Okay, so the different phases that we have, I'll be keeping it very clear. Then we'll also include hands-on project as part of the internship, right? So let us understand what will be the project phase. And once if you're done with the internship, you'll be certified. I'll be talking about the certification. And finally, the career opportunities. What if you do this internship? How are the opportunities that you can find in the real time? Okay, so all these points I'll be addressing in the next couple of minutes. Pay attention. Let me first go with what exactly is Nextera Unitech. Nextera Unitech is an organization where we train multiple students on the emerging technologies like data analytics, data science, then artificial intelligence. And we are also yet to implement new technologies coming in like embedded systems, cyber security, so on. So we'll be doing it, guys. And when it comes to our curriculum, we have an industry recognized curriculum where we have developed using real-time applications. Okay, for each of these courses, we have designed very beautiful curriculum where we include real-world applications as part of it. And we mainly focus on hands-on learning. We believe in it. We want every one of our students to actively listen to the class and then sit and do the practice. There is a well said proverb, it is practice makes man perfect, right? So we focus on hands-on learning. Apart from our trainings, we also conduct free internships. When we say free, we are not even going to charge even a single rupee for this internship. You can be part of this program, right? So this free internship is industry recognized, and now I'll be explaining how this free internship program works. And before that, let us understand what is internship. Can you tell me what is an internship, guys? If you ask me, internship means, opportunity to work on projects. We are going to give you an opportunity to work on project, right? So where you will be gaining real-time experience. You're going to gain real-time experience. So as part of this internship, you're also going to enhance your problem solving skills. This is one of the important skill that is mandatory in real time. So this can be enhanced when you be part of our internship. As usual, your network grows. So I define the internship using these 4 points. If you are going to do this internship, for sure you'll get an opportunity to work on a project. Again, we have some guidelines, we have some rules and regulations. Okay, if you follow all these rules and regulations, yes, you'll be part of the project, guys. Once if you're part of the project, you'll gain real-time experience. Now, let me talk about the phases of our internship. What are the different phases that we have in our internship? Initially, we'll have an orientation session. Probably it will be conducted tomorrow. Okay. So as part of this orientation session, we'll be talking about the tools, the softwares. Okay. Each and every technical point will be discussed as part of the orientation session. And Our expectations, what are we expecting from you, will be understood as part of the orientation session. Once after completing this orientation session, immediately from the next day, the learning phase starts. Initially, you have to learn something. Only then you can work on a project. So as part of learning phase, you'll be learning rigorously. You'll be learning all the important skills, the core concepts, and as part of your learning phase, you also get a mentorship from our experts. Our experts will guide you along the learning phase, and whatever you have learned, you'll be using the skill to complete your project. And guys, this will be a individual project, but where we'll be discussing as a group. We'll be working as a group, but every one of you have to do a project. Right? So these are the 4 phases that we have defined as part of our internship. Initially the learning phase, then the hands-on project phase. So let me talk about what are the details that you get for this internship. Initially, as part of the learning phase, you'll be learning Python, exploratory data analysis, then data cleaning, SQL and Power BI. Right? So for how many days? For 30 days. For 30 days, you'll be learning all these topics, and once after completing learning phase, for the next 15 days, you'll be working on a project. As part of your project, we'll be assisting you, but you cannot expect spoon feeding from us. Why? We ensure that every one of you will be learning all these topics within these 30 days, and whatever you have learned, you'll be implementing the same on your project. Okay, so you'll have some daily assignments which you have to work on daily basis, and on daily we'll be connecting. Okay, daily basis we'll be connecting as part of the learning phase as a kind of, it's a kind of doubt clarification session. If you have any doubt clarification session, you'll be connecting on daily basis. Okay, and when it comes to the fee, it's completely free, guys. You need not pay even a single penny from your pocket. It's absolutely free. And finally, once after completing the internship, you'll be certified. You'll get a free industry recognized certificate. Right? So this is the end-to-end journey of our internship. Let me talk about, the certification that we are going to provide. How is this certification going to add weightage to your resume? Is post completing the internship, you'll be receiving the certificate? Yes. This certificate, you can post it on any social media platform, which is going to add a lot of credibility. So when you keep in your resume, you can keep it very clear that you have done internship for 45 days where you have worked on a project. You can add it to your LinkedIn. Right? So this will add a lot of weightage to your resume. And finally, this is also going to showcase your experience. Yes, you have certificate in your hand. So if someone is going to ask you, yes, here is my certificate. Here is my proof. And this will demonstrate your experience. Right? But who will be certified? Whoever completes both learning phase and project phase, only those people will be certified, guys. If you just complete learning phase and if you come for certification, it is not accepted. You should complete both learning phase and project phase. Then, next to certification, we have career opportunities. As we know that AI is in boom, and if you are going to do an internship in the space of AI, in the field of AI, for sure there is a lot of demand in the market, and you'll be ready for the job opportunities. Okay, it also depends on your network. You can build your network with the industry experts, right? And you can be ready for the job opportunities. Like there are multiple, designations like data scientist, data analyst, AI engineer, ML engineer. Yes. And finally, we have, you know, if you are ready to start your career, do not delay. Just take up a new step and be part of our internship. Why am I time again repeating the same? It is for your career sake, you know, it is absolutely free. We are not going to charge even a single penny, right? So be part of our internship, and we'll be discussing more in the orientation session, guys. Okay, even though if you're not good at the technical topics like Python, whatever I have discussed so far, SQL, Power BI, no worries. On daily basis, we'll be learning all of them, and we'll gain our skills on daily basis. So what you're waiting for? Be part of our internship. If you haven't registered, do complete the registration, right? And be part of our internship. Yes, if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. It might be regarding the internship or even the SQL session that we have, went with so far. Any questions? Guys, the internship registration link has been posted. If you haven't registered, complete your registration by clicking on the registration link. So you'll have on daily basis, you'll have the meetings on daily basis where you'll be connecting and we'll be discussing about the progress in the internship. So it is going to start from tomorrow, guys. If you haven't completed the registration, here is the form, the link. The feedback link has been posted. Give your valuable feedback before you leave, guys. Thank you so much.